And so now we're recording. Oh, look at that.
And then see? And then here we're recording. That's not going to have this audio.
Okay. Okay, great. Good evening. Hey, so we have quite the setup, if you haven't noticed.
We have all the ingredients we need for making a delicious apple pie for our Thanksgiving tomorrow while we dive in and take a bite out of season 5 Suits.
Yeah. Maggie, you look like a real chef.
You look like a chef who has a podcast.
Thank you. Maybe this is a spinoff.
That would be,
Chef spelled with an S.
Only chef fans.
That would be so great. Listeners, if you've noticed, I'm a little bit raspy today, and it's because I have been shouting from the rooftops all week to anybody who would listen that we were going to go live and be making this delicious apple pie. So I apologize, I'm a little raspy, but Maggie's going to...
I am not raspy because I've been saving my voice just thinking, wow, we've got to be making this pie. And I wonder if this actually picks up on the microphone. If people like just listening will hear. Do you hear that?
Oh, a little ASMR.
Yeah, that's
good. That apple.
We've got 2 different types of apples for this pie.
We
kind of talk about our ingredients first and then talk about
get into Suits? Yeah, let's tell them a little bit about what's happening. So if this is the first time that you've decided to join us ever, I'm Amanda.
And I'm Maggie.
And we're sisters-in-law.
In-law.
And we've been watching Suits one episode at a time. Mm-hmm. It's a show so nice that I have watched it twice.
And the show's so great, I'm watching it late.
And we appreciate you tuning in. So because we are sisters-in-law, we will be celebrating Thanksgiving.
Tomorrow.
Yes. And we started talking about pies in one of our episodes and then thought maybe we should make a pie together because going live on Instagram isn't already hard enough. And so we decided to add this layer.
We're pretty much seamless in the recording of our podcast for everyone who listens. There's rarely any times that we forget that our mics are facing the wrong way.
Or forget to clap.
Or do any of that stuff. Mm-hmm. So we thought we should add an entire pie baking.
Yeah. So that's what we're doing. Maggie, you and I kind of went back and forth about what kind of apple pie to make.
We did.
And we talked about, should we do a homemade crust and one with a crust on top? Should we do one with like a crumble? And I said, you get to pick.
Yeah, and I picked Pillsbury crust.
Yes.
And a crumble on top.
And it's only because our pie crust when made homemade are so good that then we get demands for them.
Yeah, we didn't want to have to open a pie shop.
Yeah.
Basically, it was
mm-hmm.
if we did all of our steps, it would be people banging on the door trying to get a pie. And it's like, no, just subscribe to the podcast.
Yeah. And if you haven't already subscribed and you haven't liked or you haven't left a review, now is the perfect time to do that.
It is because we're still getting set up. We haven't even clapped yet to officially start our recording.
But Maggie did a wonderful job of art directing all of this to make sure that all of the ingredients were in here.
Yeah.
We've prepped some of them just for the sake of time.
Yes.
Because this is actually a Suits rewatch podcast. So
it's
not a pie podcast. So we have a special treat for you on this Thanksgiving Eve.
Yeah. So we've got Honeycrisp apples. I'm currently peeling a Granny Smith. Mm-hmm. We've got our crumble topping Sans butter. Mm-hmm. That's got some walnuts in there, some brown sugar, a little bit of flour.
Yep.
We've got the pie
mixture. It's got sugar. It said it was like granulated sugar. Flour. It said to spoon and level it. I didn't do that, but it's fine. We're
artists.
And then, and baking is an art, not a science, which is hilarious because on the recipe link at the very top, it says baking is chemistry. We're like, nah, we'll make it an art.
Chemistry's up for interpretation.
For sure. all those.
That's what I learned.
Everything on the periodic table is all up for interpretation.
It's beautiful.
And then there's like nutmeg and cloves and cinnamon.
Allspice.
Something else. Was there pepper? No, there's no pepper.
No pepper.
Okay.
No cayenne.
I think that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, and then we've got some butter that's cooling that'll go in the crumble over here.
Vanilla and lemon.
There we go. I just Peter Brady'd you. And it's time to change. All right.
Okay, well,
should we maybe
pull up our notes and clap?
Pull up our notes and clap and do the dang thing.
Okay, I'm like nervous and excited. Also, we can't see people who are saying hi.
Mm-hmm.
Hi.
And
we're going to look at all those comments, but we can't see them right now because we're 10 feet away from our phone.
And the phone is inside of a ring of duct tape so that it could angle right at us. Mm-hmm. So
we're professionals.
We are. You ready?
Uh-huh.
1, 2, 3.
Hi, I'm Maggie.
And I'm Amanda.
And we're sisters.
In law.
We're watching Suits one episode at a time.
It's a show so nice, I've watched it twice.
And a show so great, I'm watching it late.
Thanks so much for tuning in.
Maggie's never seen it and Amanda's obsessed. They don't wear fancy suits, they are casually dressed. They are sisters-in-law and they got a show about a law firm drama that aired a few years ago. Only Suits fans, 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 only Suits fans.
This is Season 5, Episode 15, TikTok, and Season 5, Episode 16, 25th Hour.
Great.
There we go.
That was perfect.
25th. So we watched this together. We have a tradition of watching the season finale together. And you normally come over here, we do snacks, and it's a fun little treat. But I went over to your house.
You did.
And
which
so,
is just a beacon of calm.
It is a beacon of calm. And so I went over there.
Serenity.
And it is. It feels like you're at a spa, and a night spa. And I went over there and I got to watch it with you and Kyle, my brother. Your husband.
My husband.
Mm-hmm. So the three of us watched it together, and that's actually never happened. So that was fun.
It was so fun.
Both of you guys. Yeah. So we're going to get to the season finale because y'all had watched episode 15, and then we're freaking out. Like, you have to come watch the season finale because you were trying to
Episode 15 was insane.
That was great.
It was crazy. Like, what a cliffhanger. Mm-hmm. That could have been the season finale. But I'm glad that it wasn't, because I'm glad I got to watch another episode.
Yeah, I think I said that I think the episode 15 of season 5 is a better cliffhanger than some of the cliffhangers they left us in other seasons.
Yes, for sure. Way better than like season 2,
right?
season finale. I was like, right? So that one was like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
Maggie, do you want to read a brief?
Yes, I would.
Okay. All right. I'm going to take it over here.
What started as the greatest law firm in the world is reduced to nothing more than a ghost town by the end of season 5. Looks like everyone who works in this office gets their name on the wall because there are only 3 lawyers left and Donna. It's Pearson, Spectre, Lit, and that's it. Mike is in prison. Rachel is left at the altar. Katrina is a backstabbing Louis Litt wannabe. And Anita Gibbs just can't quit Harvey Specter. While episode 15 left me gasping for air, wondering which plea deal Mike was going to take, the season finale has me grabbing for my remote, desperate to kick off season 6. Official review, Suits season 5 is 5 stars for drama.
Maggie, that was an excellent brief.
Thank you. I felt good about that one.
Yeah, it's like a holiday brief.
Thank you.
It's like something you'd see in the circulars that come out, you know?
The circulars?
The circulars. You know what I'm talking about? We talked about this.
Yeah, the circulars, like little papers.
Little papers. Papers.
I mean, I was inspired because, like I said, I think this is the best season of Suits I've seen.
And I told you last night
that it only gets better.
There's a reason that's got 4 more seasons.
Yeah.
They didn't let it go.
I think it's because Mike finally gets caught, which we will get into. But that's what we've been waiting for, right? Since season 1, when he started, we're like, oh, when's the shoe gonna drop? When's it gonna hit? And we have all these times where it's like really close to getting caught, but this time he actually does.
Can dogs have apples?
Yeah, dogs can eat apples.
Great, because this dog is going to get an apple at some point.
Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about episode 15.
You want to do before the credits?
Yeah.
It's called TikTok, and as you said earlier, not the TikTok that we're used to.
No, with a C. TikTok.
TikTok.
Okay. Before the credits even start, we see Mike, and he has a way to rattle Gibbs. He's like, I'm going to call Clifford Danner to the stand. So Clifford Danner is that guy who Mike got off early on.
That Harvey actually put in jail. Harvey got him out.
Mm-hmm.
The little loop-de-loo.
Yeah.
I mean, Mike got him out.
Harvey put him in jail. Mike got him out, and Mike wouldn't quit. He was such an upstanding guy, even though he was not a lawyer.
Right.
So he goes to talk to Clifford, but his mom, Gloria, answers the door, and she's like, well, actually, I know what you're here to do. You're here to get my son to testify.
Right.
But he can't testify because he is dead.
Oh, God, that's so sad.
He's dead.
Yeah.
He got out of prison and then he got shot in the diner, which was the only place he could get a job, even though he had been at this prep school, right? He had been this kid who like had such a bright future. And now he's dead before his time, 2 years after getting out of prison. So then Lewis calls Gretchen in for help. He wants to have a transcript of Mike's trial. Because if we remember, Anita Gibbs had just confronted Lewis and said, you better get on this train or else it's leaving the station. You better come work with me or else you're not going to have any mudding or any ballet in your future because you're going to be in prison. So he wants to see how the trial's going. And so Gretchen's got to get him that transcript.
In fact, he says to Gretchen, I'm about to give you the most important task of your career. And she goes, give me an order.
Give me an order.
Give me an order.
I think Donna's said that before, too. I wonder if they learned that in school.
You think so?
Or like when they become secretaries, if that's like, hey, if your boss is ever being kind of crazy, just say, give me an order. And then they're going to love it.
Yeah.
They're going to love it so much.
Give me an order. All right, let's see.
I just got nervous that I was on my personal Instagram account, but I do see that it is our Instagram account.
Okay.
Okay.
Somebody could have texted us to let us know, but I've got the phone on Do Not Disturb, so.
And I've got my phone 10 feet away.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, if Patrick J. Adams or Sarah Rafferty are trying to join right now, do a little mashup
That would be
of
awesome.
an OSF and sidebar, we wouldn't know because we can't see.
We wouldn't know that we'd miss that opportunity. We would miss that call.
We would. It's all right. It's okay.
Then we are back in the court. And Mike stands up. He is going to represent himself.
Right.
And Anita Gibbs is like, you cannot do this. You can't do that. And he goes, I'm sorry you didn't understand that I was an attorney on this the entire time, but I am.
Because I'm in the book
I'm
of Pierce Inspector Lit, the roster of attorneys, and so I'm technically cold counsel. Dude, she got gibbed. She got gibbed. She got gibbed because he got Gibbs.
He gibbed her good.
He gibbed her good.
So he stands up and he is going to start representing himself. And Anita Gibbs is animate. She's like, okay, but only if you waive your right to a mistrial. You have to waive your right to a mistrial.
He's like, that's fine. He's like, I'm not worried about it.
Yeah.
I'll waive it.
Yeah, but that's close.
That's another one that was real good.
That's good, Amanda. This is like mine. Look.
You know what?
I got all these
you have
tiny,
little shards.
I got little shards, and you got like
I have like a necklace.
That's beautiful.
Like this. Looks nice. Yeah, a little fruit garland.
Yeah, fruit garland.
Who's a better cutter? Probably you.
No, you're probably a better cutter.
I don't know about that.
Let's both cut.
On that tiny little cutting board?
No, you got two cutting
boards. Oh, we
boards.
have two cutting boards. Okay, great.
Okay,
That's great.
Me. Oh. So Mike calls his first witness. It's Gloria Danner, Clifford Danner's mom, and she gives a hell of a testimony in defense of Mike.
That's great.
And she says if you had been our lawyer from day one, he never would have been convicted in the first place.
Right.
Then Anita Gibbs goes up and she cross-examines. Anita Gibbs is so good at cross.
Yeah, and you said, I believe last night, you're like, she always is in really good light.
She's always in great lighting.
Well, it's because she's the good guy.
Right.
So there's something to be said about that. Like there's been some times where we've seen Rachel or Donna in all white to make them look like they're doing something very angelic, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think that's
she's
her.
in a good light. Yeah.
She's like the bad guy to us, but she's actually a good guy.
Do you make a wish on the apple stems?
No.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, I just cut an apple. I didn't even make a wish.
Oh my gosh.
Oh no. Okay,
how are we
next time
cutting
I'm going
these?
to do it.
How are we cutting these?
Just into thin strips.
Oh gosh, see, I saw somebody doing this on Instagram today and it looked hard. Are these thin enough?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Are you sure?
Okay. I'm gonna cut
and I have some scraps. I'm not gonna, here.
Yeah.
So we hear our favorite song. And then we see Mike after the credits, and he is writing his closing statement, and he's throwing drafts into the fire. He can't come up with what he wants to say. Rachel tells him that she is...
Literally throwing them in the fire.
Yes, literally. Rachel tells him that she is so proud of him and tells him to tell the jury his story. Like, you've got to let them in. You've got to tell the story. He's like, they're not going to love me. She's like, it's the reason I love you.
Specifically the story about how he's a lawyer because his parents died.
Mm-hmm. And he wanted to right the wrong.
Right, he wanted to right the wrong. Not the story about how he is, in fact, a fraud.
Yeah. Maybe leave that out, Mike.
Yeah, leave that part out, but they'll love you for the other things.
Yeah. Lewis is reading the transcript when Jessica walks in to meet him. Lewis thinks that because Mike is representing himself, that it means Harvey thinks they are going to lose. He's like, I'm not giving up. It's him growing up. And Lewis tucks Anita's card into his coat because he's thinking about maybe taking this deal.
Yeah, he pulls it out and looks at it.
Yeah.
I thought that was really a great statement, though, from Jessica. Like, this isn't Harvey giving up. It's him growing up. I thought...
Because he's delegating?
Because he's delegating, and he's trusting Mike, and he's saying, you know what? I've taught him everything he can do, and he's not trying to just take total control of it.
Right.
He is growing up. I thought Harvey was much more grown in this situation.
Yeah. And the best leaders are those who delegate.
It's true.
Yeah.
So then Donna talks to Harvey about Mike working on the closing without him.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, hey, why aren't you with Mike right now? He needs you. And he says, no, he's got it. He's doing it on his own. And Donna's like, no, you need to go and be with him.
Mm-hmm.
But Harvey says, no, it's his story. He needs to be the one who's telling it. And he is ready for it. He fully believes in Mike. And he has charged him with doing this himself.
Yes. Mike is distracted when it's time to give this closing argument. Like, he's like completely not there, and he needs to be present. And he goes off script and says he is guilty of being a fraud which everybody's like, wait, what? What are you doing? But he spins it and he says he's guilty because he was using his talent to help defend like a bunch of corporations and that kind of stuff, when he really should have been helping the underdog and helping people, which is Gloria, right? Which is like what he said he wanted to do, and he wasn't going to waste his talent. He was like, I am a lawyer and I'm not going to do it. So basically he doubles down on his lie and just tries to make his story sound like more glorified.
Yeah.
I don't know. What'd you think about this?
I didn't like this. Okay. I think Rachel had better advice, and he should have listened to Rachel. I think he should have talked about his parents, and that's also not a lie. Like, why does he want to be a lawyer? Because of his parents, and that's why he's worked so hard. And then maybe he can say that fraud piece, but it fell out of context without the parent aspect of his story.
Right.
And I thought it was really weak.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'd find him guilty.
You thought that Rachel had some good advice a couple different times.
I did. I thought Rachel is like the sense maker in all of this, even though she also is sticking by Mike, which does not make a ton of sense. But
it's interesting that she's able to like look at it from that lens, because you think she'd be so close to it that she wouldn't be able to, but she is.
Yeah, she's very objective, but also super emotionally tied to it,
which is a weird combo.
Very weird combo.
Yeah, it's a weird combo. It's a weird place to be.
Yeah. Anita gets up after Mike's closing. It's like, yeah, that all sounds great, except for you have to remember one thing. He's a liar.
Yeah, she just kind of keeps going back to that, which is fine. Like, stick to your story.
Yeah. He's guilty, is what she says. Guilty.
Harvey snaps Mike out of his days again. And the jury has gone back to deliberate, and Mike's just sitting there in the courtroom, and he's like, I can't leave until the jury comes back. Which is, I mean, I get that. It's like, I'm going to stay here until I see when they come back. But like, honestly, it could be a couple days, dude. It could be like a week.
Yeah.
And so Rachel's like, okay, fine. I'll go get us some food.
Yeah, because she doesn't want to spend her last hours with Mike in the courtroom.
No.
She wants to go like have fun.
Right.
Or go celebrate, or go mourn, or go snuggle, or whatever.
Yeah. Whatever they're going to do.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Then Jessica and Harvey meet up at the courthouse, and she's like, tell me what's going on. And Harvey says, we need grounds for a mistrial, because Anita was so antsy to make sure that Mike couldn't get a mistrial that there must be something like...
Well, it means that she doesn't have grounds to do
a mistrial.
She can't to retry it.
Right.
So that's why they need a mistrial, because she can't retry it. He's like, she's up to something.
She's up to something. I threw my scrap apples in here.
Okay, let's get those out. There's a chance to,
What am I doing? Okay.
All of them? I've done that before.
No. I mean, no. Just like that, you don't want to have like this part of the apple. That's like a butthole.
Yeah. Do you think that viewership would be up if all of a sudden one of us cut our fingers and then word got out to join this live while we were trying to problem solve that one of us has cut ourselves? I'm just curious.
Come for the suits. Stay for the possibility that we will slice our fingers off and end up in the emergency room the night before Thanksgiving.
No. So in the meantime, Mike, instead of waiting in the courtroom until it's time, picks up a new client.
Yeah, he hears this guy fighting with the prosecution outside his courthouse room, courtroom.
Yep.
And he walks out and is like, I'll be your lawyer.
He's like, that guy's not, because your lawyer didn't show up.
Right.
And so the lawyer on the other side is trying to
bully him.
Yeah. Not cool.
Not cool of the lawyer on the other side. Not really cool of Mike Ross, though, too, because you are on trial. Weird to pick up a client. But, it makes him feel better.
Yeah.
Harvey then is trying to get this mistrial in motion. So he goes and talks to Donna, and he needs all the names of jury members. But Donna's like, I'm actually not going to make my friend Stephanie
do that.
Break the law.
Yeah.
Okay, no, I'm not going to do that to get that done.
And Lewis chases her down and is like, yeah, you are. You're going to do whatever you got to do.
Yeah. Lewis is like, help him.
Which is crazy because it's not what I would have expected Lewis to do.
Lewis is full on panicking about this.
Well, because there's no way that Lewis could survive in prison.
No, he would not
survive. He'd be literally eaten alive before he even walked through the door.
Maybe.
It would be a really fun sitcom to see Lewis.
He'd actually maybe do well because he's so...
You got locked up. Lit got locked up.
Lit got locked up.
Mm-hmm. Lit got locked up.
Okay, wait. We should do that in the Harvey Specter Monthly.
Okay, what would happen if...
Lewis Lit got locked up.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
So Rachel goes to see Mike again, and he's still at the courthouse, and she's brought him a very nice picnic, and she's like, let's go outside and eat this delicious picnic that I put together. And he's actually just casually tells her that he picked up a new client, and he is working on a case. And she is pissed.
Yeah, she's pissed. She's like, we're supposed to spend time together, and now you're going to work?
Yeah.
Also, you legally can't even do that.
You're literally on trial. Your jury is out, Mike. What the actual fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
He convinces her to do it with him. So they're going to spend the last moments before they hear back from the jury working on a case. So romantic.
Isn't it, though?
I guess that's kind of like their thing.
That's their thing.
Yeah.
Harvey goes to see David about the phone numbers.
David is the guy who Mike took the LSATs for,
yeah.
and he's on Anita Gibbs' team.
Yeah.
So Harvey goes to
pissed at him.
Harvey goes to see him to be like, hey, you're going to go buy a juror coffee so I can get a mistrial. Because he actually has broken the law before, so Harvey doesn't feel bad about making him break the law again.
Right.
David's like, I could get fired. And Harvey's like, I don't care. I'll tell everyone that you didn't actually take the LSATs.
I'll ruin your career.
Yeah, I'll ruin your whole career. So it seems like he's going to get this mistrial, and Harvey's pretty confident about it.
Yeah. Mike enters a plea to throw out the evidence for his new client that he has picked up because he loves a side hustle. And Anita Gibbs interrupts in the middle of it to say that he's a fraud and it's not going to hold up. And the judge is like, well, he may be a fraud in your court, but he's not in mine. So, sorry. Like, yes, they're deliberating, but, like, we're not done.
Yeah, he's still, if he's innocent, then he can be this lawyer. And the guy, the client, asks Rachel, like, is that true? And Rachel's like, that he just got you a really great deal? Yeah. And he goes, no, that he's not a real lawyer.
Yeah.
And she kind of avoids the question.
Yeah. Mike goes to make a deal with Anita. He's going to stop practicing law as long as she doesn't go after any of the partners. Then Mike says she's never going to go anywhere when she loses this case.
Right.
Yeah.
He's like, you're going to be stuck at this level. And she goes, well, that's funny. Harvey already tried to give me this deal, but that's not it for me.
Right.
So, no, that's not what I'm going to do.
She's just, like, out to get Harvey.
She's out to give Harvey and
Mike, but, like, really Harvey.
And she knows, he's like, you don't want me, it makes you sick that I'm practicing law, so I promise not to practice law. And she goes, actually, it makes me sick that, like, this whole thing happened, so I'm not dropping it.
Yeah.
Then
Donna tells Jessica that she's doubting Harvey. Which is kind of crazy because Donna never really doubts Harvey. And all these times she said before, don't worry, Rachel, Harvey will get you out. He got me out of all these things. Because a mistrial means they can still come after Mike down the road. And Jessica doesn't care. She blames Mike for all this. She's so over it. It's interesting how much Jessica wavers back and forth in these episodes.
Yeah, she doesn't have
she doesn't have a strong point of view.
Yeah.
I side with Carl, the writer, on this one because this is how do you pick a point of view?
She's wavering because there's a lot to weigh. She's weighing the pros and cons on all the different things. Then Donna says there's not going to be a mistrial. So Harvey comes in, he's super confident that they got this mistrial, and she goes, actually, there's not going to be because David Green never showed up. He never went to buy the juror coffee.
Which sucks because now they don't get a mistrial, and Harvey needs to get his $2 back.
Yeah, Harvey gave him money to buy coffee.
So he stole money from Harvey.
He stole money from Harvey.
God, I wish they could get him on that. Can
you imagine? Harvey's like, this man owes me $2 because I paid him to pay for a juror so that I could get a mistrial because the man I hired who never went to law school or undergrad was on trial.
Oh, man. That would be, nobody would even be able to follow it. They'd be like, fine.
They'd be like, whatever, give him back his money.
Yeah, let's go.
And then,
Lewis.
Yeah, you gotta take that one.
He's nervous as hell. As we've talked about, Lewis would not survive inside of a prison. And he wants Harvey to give himself up. I said, you and you alone are responsible for the carnage of what's to come. And they are in the lobby of Pierce Inspector Lit. And it's so loud, like yelling. And I remember thinking, watching this for however many umpteenth times, why are they doing this in such a big, loud, obvious, open place? Like, this is something where it's like, hey, come in here to the conference room. Like, what are you doing? So,
especially because we know Anita Gibbs is a lurker.
She's a lurker, and she loves being outside. So she could probably hear. We don't know if those windows are or soundproof.
She's watching totally from outside that lobby.
And what do you know? Lewis recorded it on his dictaphone 10 million.
Yeah, his little dicky dictaphone. He was recording, and that's probably why they had to be so loud. Because he needed to catch clear audio.
Yeah, I think also there might have been anger.
Also, yeah, they were probably pretty angry at each other.
Yeah.
But Lewis got some evidence that Harvey knew the whole time, so this is not looking good. Because we know that in every single episode up to this point, Lewis makes the wrong choice.
Yep.
Then Anita comes to see Mike. She offers him another deal. She's at his home. And she says, you plead guilty, you'll get 2 years in prison, and I won't come after the partners.
Right.
Rachel's face is like, what's she talking about? What is the other deal?
Right.
Because why she say there's 2 deals on the table?
Right.
She tells him, you're not going to be found guilty. I was in that courtroom. You did an excellent job. I disagree there. I didn't think it was a very good closing argument.
You didn't?
I didn't. But she thinks he's not going to be found guilty. They fight super loud. Again, right after Anita has walked away. And I'm like, y'all, Anita Gibbs is
She's going to get you because she's a giver.
She's a giver, not a taker.
Yeah.
A giver of penalties for practicing law without a license.
Yeah.
So, and then she also says, Rachel says, God damn it, Mike, they were in on it too.
Yeah.
About Harvey, about Jessica, about Lewis, about
Donna. Everybody. They're all in on it.
Everyone was in on it.
And that's the whole thing. Anita wants them to turn on each other.
Yeah, because normally people would, right?
Yeah.
So then we see Harvey. He goes to confront David Green for stealing his $2.
He wants the $2 back. I don't blame him.
No.
$2 back then, it's probably worth $3 now.
With inflation?
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
David's like, no, I didn't buy the coffee because I'm not doing that. I'm not a bad guy. It makes me sick that Mike Ross is practicing law, and I know he didn't go to law school. And I always admired Harvey Specter, but you're actually just a bully who uses other people's fears to get what he wants.
Dude.
So he's not going to...
He gave Harvey the biz.
And I thought that was an accurate read of Harvey. I love Harvey Specter, but he is a bully, and he just scares people.
Yeah. I still like him, though.
Yeah, he's still really handsome.
Harvey goes to see Donna. He's got to talk to her. He is nervous because he doesn't think they're going to win. He's going to turn himself in because it's his fault. Which then, does that make you change your mind a little bit about Harvey? Because he's a bully, but he's also trying to do the right thing.
I mean, do the right thing.
Well, it's a little too late to do the right thing now.
It's a little too late to do the right thing now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Donna says, don't do that. Why would you do that? Wait and trust the jury. Trust the process. You have to see if Mike gets convicted before you do that. You need to go and sit next to Mike in court tomorrow so that he is not afraid and he knows you trust him.
We are almost done with the cutting. So if you're listening to this in your car weeks, months, years later, just know it gets better because we'll start stirring some soft ingredients.
And then we'll be done and we'll be able to focus
breeze
on suits.
through this.
Lewis talks to Jessica about how tomorrow could be too late. So he's saying we need to figure this out. This is all Harvey's fault. He needs to turn himself in. And then he yells, we don't have any time. And Jessica says, we turn him in now and we're no better than Daniel Hardman. You need to wait because Harvey would turn himself in if it meant saving our asses. So just trust him and trust the process. I also agree with this because Donna and Jessica and Rachel are all telling these men, chill out.
They're freaking out. Here's why. Their egos are getting in the way because they don't want to lose. And this is one where they just can't lose.
They can't lose because there's big consequences.
There's a huge consequence. Like, sometimes you lose, right?
Sometimes you lose. But
and
also
they can't lose in this one.
It's like, you guys, we've been living with this for 5 seasons. So right now we just need to trust and then figure it out. If he gets convicted, then we figure it out. Mm-hmm. If he is innocent, then we can take a breath of fresh air. Like, we can take a breath, you know? Mm-hmm. But take a knee. But why are these men are just freaking out over here?
I know. I need to
and
chill.
All the women are like, chill out, chill out, chill out.
Yeah.
So then Mike wakes up.
He does.
Mm-hmm. Or he maybe never slept.
We don't know.
He gets a phone call.
And it's not the jury. It's the prosecutor for Diaz, his side hustle that he has picked up. And look, don't get me wrong. I'm saying it with a little snark.
You have lots of side hustles.
I love a side hustle, but it's like, dude, like, respect the moment.
There's a time and a place for a side hustle, and it's not when you could be going away to 7 years in prison.
And do you think people are saying that right now? And it's like, there's a time and a place for your side hustle, but you've chosen to make a pie on top of that side hustle.
There's a time and a place to make a pie, and that time is right now on Instagram Live while recording the season 5 finale. Arguably the best season I have watched of Suits. So let's complicate this. Yeah. You know, let's not just enjoy the season. Let's also make a pie. To be fair, also though, Thanksgiving is tomorrow, so we do need to be doing this anyways.
We had to do it. My responsibility was to bring a pie, and you said I'm going to help. So here we are.
Here we are.
Because who better to make this pie with me than you?
Yes.
Real quick, shout out to my parents, your in-laws, for the lemons.
Yes.
This came from their lemon trees.
They grew this.
Yeah, they grew them.
They grew lemons.
Yeah, I've been trying to drink something to make my throat feel better because I've kind of lost my voice because I was shouting from the rooftops about our podcast. And so I've been drinking lemonade with extra lemon from their lemon tree.
Actual
little honey.
lemon.
Yeah, also snagged some honey from their house. And went over there, I was like, y'all got some lemons?
They had honey?
And what's your honey situation? They're like, yeah, you can have some honey.
It's so nice that they live close by.
It is nice. Let's see here. We're done with this.
And I'm adding the juice.
Yeah, these right here. Look at those knives. We got matching knives.
I was going to use a different knife, but Amanda said, no, get these. They're matching and more aesthetic.
It's true. I wanted them to match.
Yeah, it looks cute.
That's true. All right, let's keep it going. Okay. Lewis is listening to Harvey's confession over and over again on his little dictaphone. His cousin calls to ask for a tape, and Gretchen is excited to tell her to go to hell.
Yeah. So his cousin is
Anita Gibbs. Yeah, because she had said, I'm going to call and pretend. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give my voice a rest for a couple seconds.
Yeah, go ahead.
And maybe I can do a little disc mixing.
Yeah. I do want to say Amanda's voice is from yelling and not an illness. So some people might be concerned that we're baking cooking an apple pie for a family.
No, I really just lost my voice.
She just lost her voice. It's not an illness. Like, we're not going to give people an illness.
And if we are, it's just our family.
It's just our family, and they probably already got it.
We're almost done here. With this episode.
With our apples.
With this episode.
We are. With both. Okay, oh my gosh. It takes one pie prep to recap an episode.
Yeah, in the middle, just chat for the rest of this one.
Yeah.
We can pull the phone in a little bit, too.
We could. Yeah. Okay, great.
Okay.
So Mike meets with the prosecutor for his new client. Mm-hmm. All his client has to do is testify against his friends, and he won't go to jail.
Mm-hmm.
And Mike's like, no, you don't want to do that. They're your friends, dude. Don't testify against your friends. And his client says, no, I'm signing it. They're going to go to jail whether I testify or not. And Mike has this look on his face.
I think that's a butt. Is that an apple butt?
Yeah, that's an apple butt.
Okay, sorry. Please keep going.
Yeah, Mike has this look on his face like he's never ever thought that, oh, wait, everyone could go to prison whether or not I go to prison.
Mm-hmm.
He starts running.
So we get this slow-mo run.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He starts to run.
He's going to see Gibbs.
He's going
to let Gibbs get him.
He's going to let Gibbs get him. He's going to give himself to Gibbs.
Yeah.
Give it to Gibbs.
Give it to Gibbs.
And he is not in the courtroom when they learn that the jury is done. The jury has deliberated and the jury is ready to announce. And Mike, instead of being there to hear this, has decided to run all the way to Gibbs's office.
Okay.
And Harvey gets to court to stand by his man, and he's not there. So Harvey starts running too because he knows exactly where he's going.
Yep. Mike walks in and says, I'm going to take the deal. And then you texted me, which deal?
What's the deal?
What's the deal? Like, literally, what's the deal? All right. You want to do the rest of this episode?
That is the breast.
I know, I'm saying like of this episode.
Oh, our episode.
Let's hop on in. BC.
Yeah. This is the 25th hour.
Yes.
This is the last episode of the season.
Yes.
We have just been left with the biggest cliffhanger of the series so far, possibly. Minus like the banging in the copy room was pretty big.
Yeah, but that wasn't really a cliffhanger. That was just like, oh dang.
Yeah, this.
Oh dang, there's a bang.
Oh dang, there's a bang.
Yeah.
Oh dang, there's a bang.
Oh dang, there's a bang.
No, this was big.
Yeah.
So before the credits,
Go for it.
Anita says, just to be clear, this is the deal you want. And we still do not know which deal it is. Before we watched this episode, I said, Amanda, he's going to throw everyone under the bus. He's going to throw everyone in prison, and he's going to walk scot-free with Rachel into the sunset of Columbia law. I was like, that's going to happen. Of course, that's what he's going to choose.
Right.
Not what he chose.
Nope. So Harvey comes around the corner after Mike has walked out. He's like, what did you do? What did you do? He's like, it's done. What? He's like, it's done. I took the deal. And he's like, you know what? No, they haven't ratified shit, so I'm going to go undo this. Here's Harvey coming in to save the day at the last minute.
And then Rachel rounds the corner, and she goes, do what, Mike? Do what, Mike?
And then he says, I took the deal, and she goes, I don't accept that.
Yeah, because she literally said, just believe in yourself. Do not do anything. And then Mike sprinted out of the courthouse to do the exact thing that he told his fiance, the woman he loves, the woman he wants to spend the rest of his life with, that he would not do.
I know.
Then Harvey runs into the court and he says that Anita's like, we finalized a deal, we're ready to go. And he goes, we haven't finalized shit. And the judge calls them to the chambers.
She's so mad at he's cussing.
He's cussing so much. Yeah. And she's like, that's disrespectful.
Yeah, I'm done with your language.
Donna goes and checks in with Rachel, and she learns that Mike took the plea.
Donna says, just go be there for him.
Yeah.
Just go be there for him.
Yep.
And she's like, I can't because I feel like somebody's ripping my heart out of my chest right now. And that person that's doing it is him. You know.
And Donna's like, I would have forgiven Harvey. I told him to do it.
But that's not apples to apples.
It's not apples to apples.
Because Donna and Harvey aren't engaged.
Yes. They're in love, clearly, and they're co-workers. But they're not engaged. They're not engaged. And Harvey didn't promise her point blank that he was not going to do this one very specific thing and then go and do that very specific thing.
Yeah.
Hard to build a life with someone who is going to do that.
Yep.
Harvey says that Gibbs coerced Mike, so they're in the judge's chambers. He says, this is not a plea. I wasn't present. And then Mike comes in and he says, actually, no, the deal is done. And the judge says, great, you have 72 hours to report to prison.
Yeah.
Harvey could not get Mike out of this because Mike did not want to get out of this.
He wanted to let Gibbs get him. Yeah. Jessica Pearson staring into space, wondering what the verdict is, right? And she's pissed because now they're going to need to restructure the entire firm because the fact that he has pleaded guilty means that all, was it 86 or 88 cases? 88 cases that Mike worked on are now going to be up for a lawsuit. And so they're going to have to restructure the firm like pronto tanto to get this done.
Pronto tanto.
Yes. And Toronto.
Yeah, this is not good. Mike thinks he's saved Jessica and Harvey, but he's also made their life way harder. Gloria then calls after Michael. She calls Michael.
She's lurking, but not like a Gibbs lurk.
She's lurking in a good way.
Yeah.
A proactive lurk.
Yeah.
And she says, Mike, you are innocent. And he goes, no, I am not. I did this. And she goes, no, you're innocent in your heart, and there's no way that you are going to survive. He says, I'm going to a white-collar prison. She goes, there's no such thing.
When that door closes?
He needs to hear her.
Yeah.
She says, you need to hear me.
Yeah. Daddy Zane calls Lewis into his office, and he calls him a fool. Because Katrina gave him a way to get everybody out of the non-compete over at Pearson Spectre Lit.
Yeah.
So now they're real screwed.
Yeah, because Zane is going to just poach everyone because Katrina figured it out.
Yep.
Michael, as I am calling him because Gloria called him that, so out of respect. Harvey needs the name and address of the jury foreman. Donna is like, I'm not going to give that to you until you tell me what your question is.
Right.
Because I need to know what the verdict was. I mean, obviously, Donna, what do you think he's going to ask him?
Well, yeah, I want to know what was the answer.
What were you going to say?
I was going to ask him what his favorite color is, or what kind of.
Just like, hey, what's your favorite hobby?
What's your favorite kind of pie?
Yeah, no, he's going to say, what were you guys going to choose?
Right. Donna won't give it to him, but she's like, I need to know. So then we see back, and Lewis is confronting Katrina because he's super pissed at her. She offers him a prunie, which is kind of funny, but
she's kind of sassy.
She is sassy because he never brought Katrina over there. And so she's like, I work here at Zane Caldorn, whatever the name is. She's like, I'm pissed that you never brought me over there. And I even forged government documents for you. So she knew that Mike Ross was a fraud.
She knew that he knew that Mike Ross was a fraud, and that he found out, and that's how come he was named partner.
Yeah.
And that's why he didn't bring her back.
Yeah.
Then we see Rachel. She's been crying.
Honestly, obviously, a lot of crying.
A lot of crying.
Rightfully so.
She looks very distraught.
Yes.
Honestly, looks like she's actually really been crying.
Yeah. There was a couple of moments where it was like, remember I said, because we were watching this together, this is really good acting. Because he's like, are you okay? And she's like, no. The way she said that was
real.
It was real. It was believable.
Real.
Yeah.
Mike asks, if she's okay. And she's like, of course not. You told me that you would wait for the verdict.
Right.
And he made this decision, and he can't go back in time and change it. They only have 3 days left. And she goes, well, I'm going to need one of those days for myself.
Right. It's just like a weird thing, but okay.
I get it, though. She's so mad. She's so mad.
Yeah.
And he didn't listen to her. And like, what's she supposed to do? Be like, yay, let's spend time together? No, she needs to grieve this. And she needs to grieve it by herself because he disrespected her.
That's fair. My fiance has never been headed to prison in 3 days, so I do not know.
Yeah, I don't know how that
I don't know how I can empathize with that one. So I'm going to trust you on that one.
Well, mine never did either.
Right.
My husband, your brother, never went to prison for 3 days while we were engaged.
That's true. And y'all were engaged for a while.
Were we?
Yeah, over a year before you got married.
So Harvey goes to see the foreman, who happens to be a mechanic. Lots of mechanics in this show.
Yeah.
The foreman is like, it was 12 angry men in there, and I was the only one who was trying to corral people to what needed to happen.
Yeah.
Obviously, he did not go to law school. Obviously, he's a fraud. So Harvey's feeling kind of pretty good about this. Like, okay, so Mike took a good deal. And he goes, so you were going to say guilty? And he goes, no. Anita Gibbs didn't do a good job defending her, proving he was guilty. She didn't prove it beyond a reasonable doubt.
Right.
So we all said innocent.
Yeah.
And Harvey's like, oh
man.
God.
Dude, that sucks. Can you imagine? Oh man. Because like of all the cases, like sometimes Harvey's like, okay, well, that's how it is. You know.
That's how the dominoes fell.
Not this one. That's how the dominoes fell. Yeah. That's how the cookie crumbles.
That's how the apple crumble pie topper goes.
So Gloria shows up at the office and she's like, hey, Harvey, I need to talk to you because I need to tell you what's going to happen to Mike when he gets to prison. He's like, I know, but I can't talk about this right now. She's like, no, you don't know. Like once he gets behind those closed doors, he needs to know who to talk to, who to be friends with. Like it's the guards that are the worst. Tell him to stay away. You need to toughen up that boy. And he was like, I can't talk to you right now about this. And she was like, you owe me because Mike may have been the one that got him out, but you're the one that put him in. And then Harvey just does this thing where he like lifts his head up like this.
He's like, oh shit.
And he was like, hold it in.
Get my anxiety medicine.
Yeah, no kidding.
Jessica then asks Lewis to bifurcate the firm because they need to split it up so that they can't get sued left, right, and up and down.
Yeah.
And Lewis tells her, actually,
doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter because the non-compete, they can get out of it.
Right.
So now Jessica tasks him with figuring out what the hell Zane is up to and how they got around that. Mike asks Harvey if he did the right thing. He's like, hey, Harvey, I got to know. Do you think I did good? Tell me, coach.
Harvey's like, you're asking me now?
Now you're asking me?
Yeah.
Harvey tells him they were going to find you guilty. So Mike goes, okay, good. Now it's easier.
Yeah.
Now I know I did the right thing.
So then he tells Donna to get in there and get help to clear her schedule because they need to get everything they can on this case because he lied to Mike and Mike was going to be found innocent. So they've got to figure out a way to throw this case out. Yeah.
Jack Soloff comes and gives his letter of resignation. He's
Surprise.
going over to work for Robert Zane. Surprise, surprise. Then Jessica reminds him of the folder that he gave her with the crime he committed.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, call it a crime because it was. Here's the thing. No one's going to want to work for you knowing that not one, but 2 crimes were committed under your watch.
And you didn't do anything about it.
So actually, this is not good
He
for
got
you,
her.
Jessica Pearson.
He got her.
He got her good.
Mike tells Rachel, he comes home, and it says that the jury found him guilty. And all of a sudden, this has made her very horny. Okay?
Oh my God, this was such a weird scene.
You, I believe, said, oh my God, or God damn it, and started laughing as you were typing. And she's like, I don't want to just be good. I want us to be one. And so she jumps on top of him. Okay. Yeah. And she's like, I want to be your husband before you go to prison.
Your wife.
I want to be your wife. And he's like, I want to be your husband. And it's interesting how him being found guilty literally turned her into a horn dog. Turned her into a horn dog. I mean, this was like Sheila Says, like Sheila Says type stuff.
Yeah, but this is Carl. Fun.
This is Carl working it out.
Yeah,
it's kind of weird.
So weird. Yeah, they're just like mouth breathing into each other.
I can't wait till they recap that one on Sidebar. That's gonna be so funny.
Then Donna brings Harvey all the things from the trial, but Harvey's like, what the fuck? This isn't everything. What are the things that we can attack procedurally? And she goes, they're right over there. So chill out, mister. I'm going to give you some space.
He was like, why aren't you doing that? And she's like, because I don't do document review. Like, that's not what I do.
Yeah. And he knows that.
Yeah.
Jessica waltzes into Robert Zane's firm and accuses him of waltzing into her firm and stealing all her people. Mm-hmm. And she's like, you can't prove that we knew about Mike Ross. But oops, you can.
Yeah. Because Lewis told Katrina this morning about it. And so there we have all the proof in the pudding.
Because she recorded it.
Yeah.
Because she learned from
Lewis Litt. Always have a dictaphone 10 million. Mm-hmm. Have it by. Record it. Keep the receipts.
Keep it forever.
Keep it.
And Robert Zane's like, you should have told me. And she goes, I didn't know if I could trust you. Rachel's mommy comes to the door and says, look on his desk. And there's a picture of him with Rachel when she was little.
Not little, like just a few years ago. Yeah, she probably just have makeup on.
Yeah, like 27.
Yeah.
And she's like, that's all the evidence you need that you could have trusted him. Because look, he's a girl dad.
Yeah.
You can always trust a girl dad.
Always trust a girl dad. Donna tells Harvey he doesn't have to go through the minutia of the court. He just needs to give Anita something else.
That's what he does. He's not someone who goes through documents.
No, he just needs to give her something else. Mm-hmm. So he can trade Donna for Mike, right?
That's what Donna suggests.
Yes, which is, what is the name of the freight? What is the name of the company?
Liberty
Rail. So Harvey says he will give Gibbs her murderers without giving up Donna. Like he's got a way to figure it out. So.
They think that they're going to get Gibbs. Mm-hmm. Then we see Jessica telling Lewis that Katrina recorded him, you dumb fuck. Mm-hmm. Because she learned all that she knows from Lewis Litt. So of course she did.
Right. And Harvey talks to Ryan.
No, what's her name? What's her name? It's a boy name, but she's a girl.
Yeah. I can't remember.
He talks to the lawyer from Liberty Rail.
From Liberty Rail. And he says that he's going to give him Liberty Rail and he'll give her 5 clients. But she's not going to risk her career. Nope. She wants to go shopping at PSL and just gut the firm. And she knows he must be desperate to save Mike Ross if he's coming to her.
Mm-hmm. So he just needs to waive the non-compete and then she can take whoever she wants. Yep. And yay.
Yep.
Michael goes to see Rachel's mommy, and she calls him a liar. Mm-hmm. They are not going to go to the wedding. Mm-hmm. They're not excited about it.
Yeah.
Mike says that Rachel wants to spend the rest of her life with him, mm-hmm. And that's because he's a good guy.
Yeah.
And he is going to jail. Rachel's mom says, you wouldn't understand because you've never been a girl dad.
Right. And then Maggie goes, uh-oh, plot twist. Mike has a daughter. And we were watching it because she was like, is that where this is headed?
Yeah. Wouldn't that be funny if he's like, actually, I am a girl dad.
Yeah. Katrina tells Lewis that recording him put her name on the map. Mm-hmm. And he shows her a copy of the document that she forged. He says, if it wasn't for me, it would have been someone else. And so he tells her it's not worth it to do anything to make a name for yourself. And
a lesson that he has learned.
He's learned. He's a changed man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Jessica is not in the mood to hear Harvey talking about waiving non-competes. She's like, are you kidding me right now?
Yeah.
She is pissed. But then Harvey says, actually, though, you need to know that the verdict was not guilty. Mm-hmm. And you need to know that, Jessica, because we have a chance to save him.
Yeah.
And Lewis Litt comes in and she goes, Mike is family. We have to try and save him. Yeah. We have to try.
Yeah. He's got a change of heart. He's had a change of heart. His position has changed a couple of times. So has Jessica's. Mm-hmm. Robert Zane storms into Rachel's apartment and is pissed about the wedding because he wants to talk to Mike. He's like, that man will ruin your life. He says to Rachel, you're not going to pass the bar because you're going to have to go before the
ethics,
fitness and character committee. And they're not going to trust you because you were married to this fraud.
Mm-hmm. And she goes, actually, though, he told me he trusted me and he will be out of prison by the time I do that. So I stood by my man. And then he says, well, I can't trust you then because he told you knew this whole time and you're the one who kept it from me.
Yep.
Ooh, riffs.
Yeah. Then we see Father Walker. He's listening to Mike confess, and Mike says, hey, I want you to marry Rachel and I. And he's like, okay, that's great. We can do it in the small chapel because there's not going to be a lot of people. And Mike says, no, because my parents didn't get married in the small chapel. He wants to get married in the big chapel where his parents got married.
Which is very sweet.
It's very sweet.
So not at the plaza.
No, not at the plaza.
No. Then Harvey sees Anita Gibbs, and she is not interested in a murder exchange. She goes, I don't actually care about that.
Yeah.
Harvey's like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
And she goes, I am sick of you, Harvey Specter, bending the rules. And he goes, but you bend the rules all the time. And she goes, yeah, but I am bending them to put people away who have done bad things.
Yeah.
And you have done a bad thing. So maybe the next time you have a chance to put away murderers, just do it. Don't save them and try and exchange them later. Like if you could put a murderer away, put a murderer away.
She puts him on blast big time. Mike is at Harvey's apartment and he asks him to be his best man. And then all of a sudden, Harvey decides to tell him the truth that in fact he was going to be innocent. And then they fight and Harvey throws a glass as Mike walks out and barely misses it. Yeah, that was And Harvey says, rule number 1, never turn your back on anyone while you're in prison. And then he tries to make Mike hit him and Mike goes, did you say ham on Harvey?
Yeah, he goes ham on him.
He goes. And he leaves him, he is a little shiner, and then he cries. And Harvey asks him again to call Gibbs. He's like, just come on, please.
Yeah, please stop. Yeah, this was one of Mike's better fight sequences because we have seen Mike have a lot of very bad ones. This time, Mike actually came out on top. And it was against Harvey, who was a very good fighter.
Yep.
Well done, Mike.
Yep.
He's ready for prison.
Hi, buddy.
Then Mike tells him that he has something to do. He has to go ask Rachel to marry him again. Because now he has some new information.
Yep. She's in her wedding dress. You put, this is not what I pictured me either. This is not what I would have pictured for her.
Yeah, it's very floral, princessy.
Yeah, it's not what I would picture.
Princessy, but not princessy like how she is when she is a princess.
Yeah, but that wedding dress was very different.
Very different.
When she married Harry. Oh my gosh. She's in the room. She's like, don't come in, Mike. He's like, hey, he's crying outside the bedroom door. He's like, I need to tell you, I was going to be found innocent. And you wanted to marry me, and we're all horned up when you thought I was guilty.
But now
I'm an innocent man. Are you still horned up?
Yeah. She also is very explicit that she does not want him to see her in the wedding dress. This is important. She doesn't want to jinx it. This is the one thing she has of what she wants for a wedding.
That's
the
one
happen. Thing that is going to happen is that he will not see her until she walks down the aisle. Important.
Yes.
Meanwhile, Jessica has gone to see Rachel's daddy and told Robert Zane, you need to be at that wedding.
Yep.
You need to be there. And you're right. I'm sorry I didn't tell you, but you need to be there for your daughter.
Yep.
You will regret it forever. Just like I regret not coming to you.
Yep. Donna shows up to the wedding and sees Rachel in her dress. And she doesn't want to bother her, but she did get her an early present. Rachel's parents are there.
Yeah, and Rachel could cry.
Yes.
But she says, you need to stay with me.
Mike shows up. He goes into the sanctuary and he sees that
Rachel's daddy and mommy.
And they do not look happy.
They're pissed.
Yeah. So
but they're there.
They're there. And then he goes to see Rachel and he tells Donna, hey, Donna, I need to see Rachel. And Rachel comes out and there's Mike. And she's like, no, you can't see me. And he was like, we can't do this.
I was so mad that he did this because she was so explicit that she didn't want to see it. I'm just like, Mike, you've ruined this woman's life.
Yeah.
So many times. Yes. She says she wants to marry you. Let her marry you and don't do this again.
Right.
Yeah. But he's like, nope, can't do it. I'm deciding that I'm going to see you in your wedding dress and then I'm going to call off the wedding.
Yep.
Because I cannot take you away from your future.
Yep.
And he walks out of that church, gets into a car. Harvey gets in with him and they drive off into the sunset, and it is not a just married car. It is I'm just going to prison.
Yeah.
Just convicted.
Yeah, no wedding bells, just handcuffs in the back.
Yeah, it's ball and chain, but in a different way.
That's true.
And everyone just leaves the church and watches them. Rachel comes out and she's watching them go, and then her parents come out, and then Donna's out, and Jessica. Everyone's kind of like, well, there he goes. We came for a wedding, and we
didn't. And it was also in the middle of the week.
Yeah, it's like a Wednesday.
It's because then Lewis and Jessica go back to the office, and there is nobody there.
Completely gutted.
Yeah, it is a ghost town.
Ghost town.
Yeah. Mike and Harvey are standing outside the prison, which also has kind of like this like Ocean's 11 feel to it almost.
Yes.
He's like, I would have done it all again if I would have known it was going to turn out this way. And Harvey's like, yeah, me too. And he's like, I never thought I'd meet someone willing to go to prison for me. And he goes, I guess he really did find another him. So
yeah, Mike really is a little Harvey.
Yeah, he's a little Harvey.
Mm-hmm.
Dang.
And Mike walks into prison.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how the season ends.
Yeah. Did you think he was going to go to prison?
No. I thought he was going to turn on I really genuinely thought he was going to turn. This episode shocked me the most, and I was so mad about it because I was like, Mike, everything's led up to you turning on Harvey, turning on Jessica.
Yeah.
But he's got this like sense of grandeur, right? This sense of like, I know what's morally correct.
Right.
So even though my fiance has told me, don't do this, don't do that, even though everyone else has been like, wait, I am the one who knows what's best for everyone, and I'm going to go do this. And I don't know. If he would have just waited, then none of this would have been a problem. I guess it would have been a pretty boring start to season 6. It would have been
very boring
but
start.
Very exciting, very dramatic, very not what I would have liked him to do in real life.
We have another really big episode coming up soon.
We do. We have a big episode coming up.
We have a special guest. This is our first guest. We will not be going live, but we will be recording it. So you'll be able to see us with the guest. So there will be some footage of it because they cannot join us here in my living room. That's okay.
That's okay.
We're just excited that we get to have him. We know it's a him. And you guys can start guessing if you'd like, but I think that we've given enough clues and dropped enough hints, right?
Yeah, it's going to be good.
Stuff's written all over the place, basically. You know, we've written those clues everywhere.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And that's going to happen.
Dropped.
Yeah, we have name dropped. So that's going to happen the next episode. So this will be edited somehow. I will figure out how to edit this and air it on Monday, December 2nd. But before that, on Sunday, December 1st,
you will be receiving the Harvey Specter Monthly. If you have subscribed, go ahead to onlysuitsfans.com and subscribe to the Harvey Specter Monthly, where you can receive a monthly joy-filled newsletter.
Are you ready?
Okay.
Little sign off?
Yeah, let's do it.
Thanks so much for tuning in. You can check us out at onlysuitsfans.com. You can listen to us on Apple, Spotify, or anywhere else you get your podcasts. And you can follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a review.
And if you don't know what to say for your review, you can say like, I love listening to them make apple pies on Apple Pods.
That was great.
Was that good?
It was great because I reversed our outro.
You did?
I asked them to leave a review on Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube.
That's perfect.
But also you can do that too.
You can do that too. Just follow and like leave a review.
If you haven't left a review yet, we'd love for you to do that. That would be so great. Everybody have a wonderful and happy Thanksgiving. We'll report back and let you know if our family
likes the pie.
Likes the
They're going to love this pie. This is a good pie.
It's a really good pie.